Welcome back to Almost Above Average, the podcast that's shaking up your news feed and challenging what you thought you knew. Because around here, average isn't just our DNA. I'm your host, Chris McIntyre, joined by the always sharp Jonathan Travis. And today we're digging into 3 headline-grabbing stories destined to spark some serious debate. First up, President Trump's explosive summit with Vladimir Putin in Alaska. Did it signal real progress for Ukraine or just muddy the waters with a more diplomatic spin? Next up, Ghislaine Maxwell's sudden transfer to a Texas minimum security prison and rumors of a possible work release. Was it a legitimate move for rehabilitation or a political favor in exchange for silence? And what's with Maxwell's odd connections to the outcry from Congress demanding answers about her treatment? Finally, the internet is buzzing about Melania Trump's heartfelt peace letter delivered to Putin, calling for the protection of children across borders and pushing for humanitarian action. Is this genuine empathy or just more political theater on the world stage? Jonathan, let's peel back the headlines. Dealer's choice. I'll let you pick which one of the topics you want to discuss.
Let's talk about the summit first.
Okay.
That cluster muck of a disaster.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird posturing. A lot of the reporting coming out was Putin kind of looked like our daddy there in that scenario.
Oh, it gets so much worse than that. Like, we got uncategorically owned as a country, and the level of fucked we got is off the charts. Let's look at every step of this. All right, so first, Trump told us he's going to meet him in Russia and had one of his old man brain farts and turned out it was Alaska. Like, why would you meet in Alaska? Well, for people who don't know, we bought Alaska from Russia back in, what was it, like 1787 or something like that, or 1878, something like that.
All right.
I need to catch up on my history. And a lot of people in Russia apparently think they should have that back. Not only did we meet them on territory we bought for them, Trump then starts talking about giving them rights to the minerals in Alaska with no deal on the table, no negotiations in play. He throws out, it's like showing your hand before you even show up at the table to bet. It's wild. Like,
explain that. Who?
So,
like Trump is showing his hand?
Oh, yeah. When you're already giving up points of negotiation before you even sit down at the table, you show weakness on a scale that's not even be seen. Like, people should be begging you for you to give up something, not here's what I can do before you even ask for anything significant. And then he goes there, and turns out they didn't even negotiate anything.
Yeah,
basically,
they didn't even talk about peace.
Like, everything that I heard was basically Putin telling Trump, okay, little compromise, here's what we're going to do. And then let's look at this. So a guy convicted of international war crimes, including theft of children from a country, and in, was it 120 countries around the world or something like that, shows up to our country on our military base with our confidential planes, which they got access to, see some of our top secret planes, got the fucking red carpet rolled out to this guy.
On their knees, guys. MAGA, tell me why
military on
they were rolling out a red carpet on their knees.
Red carpet to a guy that
our military soldiers were on their knees rolling out a red carpet for the president of our sworn enemy.
And it does, like, how bad this is, they doesn't even stop there. So then, if you go watch the video, Trump's like, "Yay, my guy's here." Yeah. He was fucking excited.
My boyfriend.
Clapping. Yeah, and then something apparently happened that I didn't even know this was a thing. For Trump, the handshake signals the authority, right? So Trump is known. The handshake, he pulls it in, but he also makes sure that he twists so that his hand is on top, because that's his dominant show, right? Okay. Hand on top.
Yep.
Putin, he tried and failed and gave up, turned Putin's hand up, and then gently, calmly patted it.
I didn't see that.
It was an old lover that
he
got to see again.
Are you telling us President Trump did a gay handshake with President Putin?
Oh, yeah. Go, please, everybody, enjoy going and watching that.
Nothing wrong with gay. I'm just saying that is the definition.
And from the jump, Putin owned his ass. Putin couldn't get the handhold, or Trump couldn't get the handhold. He couldn't do the pull. He went into submission. From the very first second they came into contact, he got bitched.
Not only that, like Putin spoke for like 6 minutes first.
No.
Like that.
Wait. Let's go through the whole fuck up of this whole thing. Like every considerable step of this was a royal fuck up.
Okay, let's start with the planes come in. Take us through.
So then they walked down, and I don't know if you saw Trump walking to that spot, but he was all zigzagging.
No, take us through the progression. Okay, the planes are on the tarmac.
Gets off the plane. He zigzags all over the fucking red carpet. Then he finds out where Putin's coming from. He gets giddy excited, rolled out the red carpet to Putin walks up, and he's clapping excited, gets controlled in a hand domination, and then they finally turn, and Trump sinks his head, realizing he fucked up, and then they start walking to the beast. And for people who don't know, that is Cadillac One. That is the specialized, like some multi-million dollar specialized heavy armored Cadillac. Putin rode in Cadillac One with Donald Trump from the red carpet to where they had goddamn conference.
The red carpet we rolled out on our military's knees. I don't like that imagery.
No. Putin, an international war criminal, rode in Cadillac One with the president of the United States. What? Are you insane? All right. Okay, so now we go on. So if people haven't seen this, go Google it. The whole itinerary for this visit was printed out and left in a printer at a hotel. So if you go back and look at it, there was supposed to be a multi-hour long negotiation that didn't fucking happen. Mm-hmm. Trump then gave him a bald eagle statue, and then they skipped the lunch because nothing was happening with the negotiations because Trump couldn't bend over fast enough because of his cankles. And then they went to the press conference. Putin talked. Trump looked like he got slapped on the ass a little too hard and defeated. And I have heard multiple people theorize that Trump basically was told by Putin, I have the Epstein files. And there's a lot of information out there that says Putin, through back channels, maybe because he worked with Epstein. In fact, a lot of people think Putin financed some of Epstein's activities. And because of the fallout, Putin may have the Epstein files, the actual raw Epstein files in Russia.
These are our opinions, everyone. Just so you know.
This is just what I've heard and what I've put together. I don't know how true any of this is, but it sounds accurate, sounds realistic. It's the coolest conspiracy theory nonetheless. That Putin may have told Trump, check yourself before you wreck yourself. I got the files.
That would actually make sense because Trump's posture, he wasn't...
And then not long after
this
that...
strong man that he wants to be, he would have been the last couple of weeks saying, I'm going to Alaska, I'm going to meet Putin, I'm going to tell him he needs to stop bombing Ukraine or else this will happen. He didn't posture like that at all. The whole thing was, we're going to see what happens. We're going to meet in Alaska.
His role
We're going to see what happens. It's like,
he got to see his role model. That was all a role model visit. He met Putin on a U.S.
Trump is the bottom in this scenario, guys. Anybody know who that is? He's the bottom in this relationship.
So let's walk through this. He met a war criminal on U.S. territory.
If you've made it this far in the video, do me a huge favor. Please hit subscribe, hit like, and drop a comment. It is the best way to support us and keep this content coming, and I absolutely appreciate it. Thanks for being a part of the Almost Above Average family.
Who was his role model, who was excited about, and gave him a gift. And then he left.
He gave him a ride in our nation's most top armored vehicle, our enemy, our sworn enemy.
Most armored ground vehicle that he uses, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he let, on U.S. soil, at a U.S. press conference, hosted by us, Putin talked first. And Trump's like, I'm good. And then just left. It's like, we got owned on every single point of this entire charade. We got owned.
MAGA, what is your take on what happened in Alaska? Are you guys all proud of our president that he went there and talked to another person?
Everybody in Congress and representatives say this was an utter and complete failure.
Yeah. But what about the base? Do you think the base is still like, yeah, he did a great job. Way to go meet.
No, did you not see all the people waving Ukrainian flags and yelling, what about Ukraine?
No, I've only seen there's
clips of like reporters yelling, what are you doing? Why are you doing Ukraine like this? You know, that kind of stuff.
No, but while I was out cruising around yesterday in Morrisville, like I happened upon the another No Kings protest. I made a couple clips on that. It's nice to see that people are still coming out, but I'm not hearing of it being reported, like promoted. I just caught that. Did you know about it?
Yes, I did hear about this. And the reality is that a lot of stuff can't get the attention because there's so much stuff now. And I think a lot of people are so overwhelmed with the flood of the field and all the shenanigans that are going on that it's hard to see that there's so many shenanigans. It's like you can't see the forest for the trees kind of mentality. That there's so many different things to look at.
There's so much to focus on.
And when Biden was in office, did we have to feel like this every single goddamn day? Like, oh my God, what the fuck did he do this time? Or it was like...
No, because MAGA was still controlling the narrative during Biden's presidency. We were talking about Biden's laptop during Biden's presidency.
Yeah, what a nothing burger.
Yeah. Like, the whole, it's just pathetic.
Did you know if you went to buckedup.com right now and used code McMedia1 at checkout, after you've selected any one of the hundreds of fitness products or awesome apparel that they have, you can save huge. MCMEDIA1 at buckedup.com.
I just want to point out to MAGA, where all the information on Hunter's laptop and all the corruption. What was it I saw today? Yeah, did you hear about Hunter Biden getting, what was it, $700 billion and then, no, $700 million from business dealings they did on behalf of their dad, and then got a $2.1 billion loan from the people who orchestrated 9/11? No, you're right, because that was Trump and his son-in-law.
No shit.
Whoopsies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hunter, and that Hunter Biden Melania thing is absolutely hilarious.
Tell me about that, but I do want to say Hunter Biden is out there kind of kind of crushing it. Like, I see a ton of clips of Hunter coming out just talking shit about the Trump administration.
I love that for two reasons. One, the hypocrisy is being called out, and I like that a lot. It's showing vulnerability.
Right. It's like, you guys were after me for fucking 4 or 8 years, however long it was. Like, here I am. You guys found nothing, or he already got trouble for his thing. Like, he served his whatever.
And he played the exact same card that the guy from the Wall Street Journal did. What was his name?
The
owner of the Journal?
Michael Wolff?
No, that's the guy who ghost wrote the Art of the Deal book. Anyway, the guy who owns the Wall Street Journal,
Rupert Murdoch.
Rupert Murdoch, when he authorized the publishing of that birthday card, and Trump threatened to sue him, or did sue him, and then Murdoch's like, all right, well, see you at Discovery, and then Trump's like, never mind. And he cancels lawsuit. And this is the exact
that right
same
there
scenario
should tell everybody everything they need to know about Trump being in the Epstein files. If he were to have to go through Discovery, he would have had to admit all of that stuff, and we would all know it. So there is enough to know. He's definitely in the Epstein files, and he's definitely
video
covering
testimony,
it up.
There's documentation, and there's pictures all proving that Melania knew Epstein and met Trump through Epstein, and it's all videoed, secured, documented, and available to the public out there. Pictures, video, audio, and paperwork, all available to the people out there. You can go Google it. You can go find it right now. It proves what Hunter Biden said was true, and Melania is just being offended. And the reason that they didn't file a lawsuit is because that fucking real truth is out there, and she can't hide from it. Otherwise, they would have sued.
Run through the Melania and Hunter thing again. What is the beef?
So Melania was called basically an Epstein hooker by Hunter Biden. That's the synopsis of it.
Okay, fair enough.
And Melania and Trump have publicly announced that they met at a party, and then he had to get her number through some back channel because she wouldn't give it, and that's how they met. And that's horseshit.
Sure.
Because Epstein is on video saying that he introduced them, and the first time they really got together was on the Lolita Express, and they did the thing on the Lolita Express with Epstein nearby.
What thing is that? What do you mean by that?
You know exactly what I mean by that. The first time
parental advisory is advised.
They got intimate was on the Lolita Express. So Melania and Trump met through Epstein. And I think, based on everything I believe, this is my opinion, this is my theory. I've heard multiple people say it. I believe it's true. This is my personal belief. I can't prove it myself, but enough of what I've heard and facts have come up. So Epstein knew Melania before she met Trump. She is the daughter of a Russian agent. Her dad was FSB or something, or OFS, or I don't know the acronyms, but he was Russian intelligence. And his daughter, the daughter of a Russian, somehow magically got in Epstein's hands. Epstein has had ties to Russia and money coming from Russia, almost $1 billion, by multiple senators coming out and confirming this. Multiple U.S. senators have come out and confirmed that was at $1.1 billion from Trump through Russian banks went to Epstein. And there's even more information that's out there via legal court documentation. It shows some of Trump's businesses around that time were actually Russian money laundering fronts. That documentation's all out there. So Epstein's hooked into the Russians. Trump was hooked into the Russians, and Trump was gaining power and working basically for, in my opinion, working for the Russians, helping with money laundering. And they decided to secure him up and start getting him in place. And this is what I think happened. I think Russian intelligence realized Donald Trump could be played, could be motivated through the right course of actions. I think there's a very real chance that his first wife died. Oh, and I don't know if you heard about that. The first wife dying and being buried on a golf course.
Yeah.
I found out what happened there.
What?
So somehow she magically fell and died. I don't know the details, but the reason she was buried on the golf course is because a private ceremony or a private cemetery in that location exempts that golf course from taxes.
Yeah, it's a tax evasion. I did know that.
It's a tax evasion.
Right.
No, so that golf course doesn't pay taxes
that speaks
because
to character,
he's buried
y'all.
his dead wife 150 feet from the clubhouse.
That speaks to character. Like, what kind of the character of
She
a man
was more as a tax
would tax
evasion
evade
scheme.
to bury his dead wife in the golf course with his name on it? That's
that's love, guys. It's shitty. I've seen pictures. It's shitty ass little tombstone too, and he doesn't go visit it. Come on. Anyway, And then not long afterwards, Russian intelligence, probably on behalf of Putin or whoever was in charge, said, "Hey, let's go get him under control, whether she fell by accident or not." And then next thing you know, the Russian supermodel gets an Einstein-level visa through Epstein, is my guess, in order for her to meet Trump. And Epstein was so into Trump's pockets and Trump's life, partners in my mind, that he got her with him. Epstein got Melania, however you pronounce her name, with Trump in order to set that whole up, in order to keep him in the Russian pocket from that point on. And there's $1.1 billion in business dealings that numerous Democrats have stood up and talked about that the FBI knows about that has never been followed through on. 1.1 billion over the course of almost 1,000 transactions from Trump through Russian banks to Epstein.
I can believe it. There's been talk of Trump being a Russian asset for
Compromat. He's been called Compromat for like 20 years.
Yeah, I can see it.
So
and
anyway,
then the way he postures towards Russia now, it's like it's almost glaringly obvious.
So fast forward to, you remember back when COVID was hitting and people were trying to get her while he was in the office the first time to do something about the kids, and she wore that jacket.
Her Be Best campaign?
No, she wore that jacket that got her in trouble. I don't care.
I do remember that, yeah. I don't care to you.
I don't care to you.
Kids in Cages was happening. I don't care to you. Yeah, I do remember that.
So supposedly she wrote a letter, and Trump gave that letter to Putin at the summit saying, "Enough's enough. It's over. It's time to end it. Return the kids," or something like that.
Let's read it.
Oh, we have it to look at? What?
Dear President Putin, every child shares the same quiet dreams in their heart, whether born randomly into a nation's rustic countryside or a magnificent city center. They dream of love, possibility, and the safety from danger. As parents, it is our duty to nurture the next generation's hope. As leaders, the responsibility to sustain our children extends beyond the comfort of a few. Undeniably, we must strive to paint a dignity-filled world for all, so that every soul may wake to peace.
All right, pause. I'm going to throw up. You keep going through this. This is horse shit.
This is Melania Trump, y'all.
No, it's not. Somebody wrote this on her behalf and is pushing it through to make it sound like she's a good first lady. Come on, people. She didn't care then. She doesn't care now. In all honesty, if she actually cared about the kids, as soon as they start getting kidnapped, she would have done something back in the first fucking term.
Right. A simple yet profound concept, Mr. Putin, as I am sure you agree, is that each generation's descendants begin their lives with purity, an innocence which stands above geography, government, and ideology. Yet, in today's world, some children are forced to carry a quiet laughter, untouched by the darkness around them, a silent defiance against the forces that can potentially claim their future. Mr. Putin, you can single-handedly restore their melodic laughter. Is protecting the innocence of these children, you will do more than serve Russia alone. You serve humanity itself.
Garbage.
Such a bold idea transcends all human division, and you, Mr. Putin, are fit to implement this vision with a stroke of your pen today. It is time. Wow. Wow, Melania.
What horse shit.
That is crazy. I don't a single word in there being genuine.
Sorry. My opinion is that is utter complete bullshit. And honestly, the thing that really stood out to me was Melania's signature looks so much like Donald's.
That's what I was saying. That's what I think.
Did he forge that?
I think so.
Anyway, so yeah, oh my God. What a mess.
So, well, if Melania feels emboldened enough to handwrite a letter to the president of Russia, that means there's a relationship there. There's a connection there.
Or that she thinks she's the first lady and she can have some effect as she is a Russian descendant. Although I love the idea, and I don't know how true it is, like super grain of salt this, like sodium overload grain of salt.
Oh, dang.
There's a lot of talk coming out that Barron is not Trump's son, biological son.
I can see it.
That she had an affair, and that's not like, yeah. But there is a lot of information comes out that's saying that he's either a sociopath or a psychopath.
Who, Barron?
Because there's been multiple reports of him hurting or killing small animals, which is serial killer shit.
Barron, are you a little psychopath, Barron? Are you a little nutcase? Are you in the backyard burning ants with a fucking magnifying glass? You sick fuck? Huh?
I mean, I don't have any firsthand testimony. I don't have any firsthand, like, confirmation. I don't know it personally.
I follow him on Twitter.
I've heard like 2 or 3 report. I would not. I've only seen 2 or 3 people talk about it. But yeah,
his Twitter account, he's very much brainwashed as a MAGA cult member. He's just another Eric.
It falls under the I'm a genius. Trust me, bro. I'm not going to show you my IQ score. I'm healthy, bro. Just trust me. I'm not going to show you my medical records. Yeah. I'm a billionaire, bro. Trust me. I'm not going to show you my financials. Yeah. I'm a father, bro. Trust me. I'm not going to show you the DNA test. It's like, okay.
That's pretty much
Trust me, bro. I'm a great businessman. I've only got 7 bankruptcies on record.
Yeah, but I don't have 8, okay? I don't have 8.
Where he's convicted of stealing from a kid's charity that he hosted. His own charity. For the kids.
If you're in MAGA, you don't care about children. You don't care about, you're part of the MAGA movement. You don't care about the children that are suffering. You don't
care about the fetus until it becomes a child, and then fuck it.
Right. They don't need we don't need cancer research anymore. We don't feed hungry people on any nation. You know what? We don't need to feed hungry people in our nation. In fact, if you're brown, we don't need you in our nation.
Actually, let's move on to the next point, which is was it South Carolina, West Virginia, and was it 2 other states are going to be deploying their National Guard to Washington, D.C.?
Oh, yeah, the militarized Washington, or what do we call that?
So let's talk about D.C. real fast. The militarized takeover of D.C., L.A., and soon Chicago and New York, and maybe even Raleigh-Durham.
Really?
Well, I mean, there's been talk about it, and given that ICE is literally raiding this area, yeah.
If I see them here,
there's a lot of illegal immigrants in this area.
I might get arrested if that shit happens out here. I'm going to be the good trouble type of guy and go out there like John Lewis.
You obviously have gang tattoos on your arms. I see them. That obviously says MS-13. Look at it.
Obviously, that gang that's Days 11 right there. Go check them on Spotify. Great gang. Great gang.
Obviously, that translates in Spanish to MS-13.
Right. Dia is what it is. Days 11.
So the militarized takeover and the authoritarian, what was it? I was just reading something, Tatiana Hernandez, or, oh man, I was just reading about that. I want to talk about Gavin Newsom too, before we get off of this.
Yeah, I like what he's doing. I like his messaging. I did a whole piece just on him the other day.
I'm trying to find the name of that lady. But there was a reporter or columnist or something like that, there it is. Tatiana Martinez was live streaming, and she was aggressively arrested, like assaulted. And the thing that was really stand out was somebody towed one of the police cars while it was happening because they were illegally parked. But,
that's
I mean,
horrible.
Is she an illegal immigrant? Was she a criminal? Or was she just protesting the Trump administration for all the illegal activity? Yeah. And then I was reading earlier, there's a lot of reports that juries are not taking to trial cases that ICE is bringing up. And the reason they're not doing that is because ICE is changing their statements, they're lying, or they're misleading in their statements. And when they go to discovery, they go, "Are you serious?" So he was just protesting and you tackled him and you said he was inhibiting your ability to do your job. No, that's not the case. And they're throwing out case after case. And it made me think about the sandwich attack by that one guy during the DC. It's like, you get a sub thrown at you and you had to tackle and beat a guy down and then or get him fired? Like, what?
That was pretty pathetic. Did you get people at home see that video? A guy in a riot. Well, it wasn't a riot, I guess. They were just protesting. He got upset with a official and threw a Subway sandwich at him, and they beat the shit out of this guy.
Well, it wasn't like the guy picked on him. either. Like, these guys were harassing him, and he was a DOJ employee. Like,
Right.
he was justice. He worked like one or two levels under Bondi, if I remember.
Man.
And like, this is not a happenstance. This guy was harassed on the thugs because Trump said, "Do whatever you want." They can do whatever they want.
They
That's
literally
the
can.
quote that he said. And like, if you go watch the video, like, he was just getting a sub and going home, and these guys attacked him.
Yeah.
And he ends up throwing a sub at him out of their behavior, and then they arrested him for it.
The Young Turks or the Midas Touch or something, they did a video today where
Midas
they
Touch,
just highlighted a bunch of the abductions that are happening out there. Like, there's this one guy showed up to pick his kid up from school and was just waiting out front in his car, and the cops or the ICE just came out, pulled him from his car, and left. Like, what about the kid?
I mean, there's another report of a 4-year-old getting cancer treatment at the hospital, deported the kid, and the family didn't find out until after.
Jesus.
And he was receiving life-saving cancer treatment. What? And he was an American citizen, and they deported him to some other country. It's like, what? And that's the point, is the whole deportation thing is not about making the country better. It's not about getting rid of criminals. There should be criminals gotten rid of. I get you there. Like, illegal criminals don't need to be in this
country. All want that.
But there's due process for a reason. It's in our fucking Constitution for a reason, and it's because of this. This is exactly why due process is a part of our law system, so that people who should not be, what is it, the statement? It's better to let a criminal get away with a crime than it is to lock up an innocent person. Used to be the mantra of our country. Now it's kill them all, let God sort them out. And this idea that guilty by Brown or people don't need due process, we'll just deal with them, is ridiculous. So a kid receiving cancer treatment is getting deported. You have people in this country literally laughing at the idea of human beings being eaten by alligators, or 30 of them to a cage, getting water flooding their cages, having to sleep on floors. We're deploying military troops to beat up U.S. citizens. Like, this is not okay. And
Jonathan, who gets the right to do this country?
Every goddamn human being in the borders, period.
What do you mean?
Because until you know what due process is done, until due process is executed, you don't know.
But I was born here. Why? How come I...
It doesn't matter if you're born here or not. Process is for every human being inside of our border, period. And why is that? One reason above all, to make sure that we handle the citizens of this country with humanity, by making sure we instill their God-given rights according to the goddamn Constitution and the Bill of Rights. These are what our forefathers fought against. What you're seeing now that the Trump administration is doing is the tyrannical bullshit that started the goddamn Revolutionary War. And it's the fucking reason we had to go to war in goddamn Europe, World War I and World War II. This is the same tyrannical bullshit that the U.S. has had to go to war with again and again and again, and maybe have to again.
Now we're doing
it on purpose. It's
the
same goddamn shit.
We're doing it to ourselves. We're doing it on purpose.
British used to kick in doors and take over shit. Now we have the U.S. ICE agents doing that. British used to abduct people they didn't like. Nazis used to abduct people they didn't like. They used to kill people they didn't like. They used to lock them up in cages. We are literally maybe a couple months away before we start gassing these fuckers at this rate. It's insane that people think this is okay and are laughing at it. They should be scared. Every human being, every one of them.
Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. What is your experience
to
with
lock
this out
up
there?
Kids?
How are you dealing
with
this in your
food,
community?
Medicine, medical care, and rights is not a good person in my book. Sorry.
They're not. These guys are masked up. They're not showing ID. You can't even engage with them. I saw a bunch of videos today. People are just like, "Can you please show me your ID? Why are you here?" They won't even answer simple questions. They're afraid. But the government, Trump has given them carte blanche to do whatever they want. Literally, whatever they want.
And it's not even. I keep thinking about that statement that the Border Patrol guy made to the camera, to the press, outside of Gavin Newsom's press conference a couple days ago, where he said, "Well, if our representatives are going to save this country, we're going to fucking do it." It's like, whoa, buddy, that's the governor. You're telling me the governor is acting illegally? I'm pretty sure he's not. And you're out here harassing people and assaulting them and terrorizing them because you don't agree with the politics of your goddamn leader? and you're going to unanimously act out and against the direction of your leadership because you think you are better than them, that's tyranny, that's rebellion, and that's terrorism.
Well, let's leave
it there. That's my opinion.
Our opinion. All right. Until next time, hit subscribe. This is the Almost Above. We'll be making another one soon, I'm sure. Anyway, I'm Chris McIntyre. That's Jonathan. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to the Almost Above Average podcast. I'm Chris McIntyre, and if you like what you heard, please hit subscribe and share it with a friend or a family member that might need to hear this stuff. We're doing a lot of political stuff on the podcast lately, but we're also sharing stories because that's what I really want to do with this podcast. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Please hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the comments. Peace.